are bad right now. The Dodgers are rolling, and man, I mean, imagine being 0-7 for your opening day tomorrow, knowing that no team that started 0-7 has ever made the playoffs. That the Braves are a mess, but man, are the Dodgers good. It's a joke. They're doing this without Freddie Freeman. They played a crappy game yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah.
They kicked it around like crazy.
Yeah.
3 errors. Max Muncy yanked 2 throws.
Yep.
Pages makes a bad play in center. They played the worst game of the season for them, and they still won. That's how good they are.
Yeah. Well, everyone in the dugout assumed he was going to hit the walk-off, too, on the bobblehead night. All those, I couldn't believe the comments after the game. Like, Edmund, we knew he was going to hit it. It just was what part of the park it was going to go to. So how many times, we talked about this earlier in the week, how many times do you think you're going to be an underdog this season?
You know, I think when they beat Chris Sale in Game 2 of that series, they were as short as they're ever going to be. They went off at minus 129 that night. You are not going to find the Dodgers at minus 125 again this year, period. That's it. I mean, you're going to have to lay some massive tax on them when they have the Marlins in town facing Yamamoto, just out of the top of my head. Tomorrow's interesting because they're in Philly, and they have Yamamoto on the road. The Dodgers aren't running a lot. They're not stealing a lot of bases. But Jesus Luzardo is one of the slowest dudes to the plate in the league, and you can run on him. Any other team, if it was Pittsburgh, who's running like crazy, you play your stolen base props in that game, I'd stay away from the Dodgers in this series just because at some point they are going to lose. We're, of course, being facetious, saying they're going to go 162-0. And Philly's a good team. Maybe you get a shorter price in this series, though, because it's Philly.
All right, Dodgers are $1.40 tomorrow. The Cubbies are $1.75. Imanaga at home against the Friars. What do you think of San Diego's start? That division's awesome.
Yeah, imagine if the Braves had won that game yesterday, the Dodgers would have been out of first place because San Diego's rolling. And credit anybody, and we were talking about this at our shop a little bit. Michael King wasn't very good in his first start of the year. He went 2 2/3. He was walking guys. He comes back and punches out 11 in 5 innings in his second assignment of the year, and that's the guy that they know they have. So there's a difference, right? And for your audience, for your people, when you're seeing a Vanguard guy, a brand-name starter, a guy like Michael King, and he struggles, maybe the number comes down, his strikeout prop comes down for his next assignment, maybe that's the time to strike. Some of us thought that was going to be the case with Snell yesterday, but April Blake Snell is not as good as Midsummer Blake Snell. He gets to Midsummer and he rolls and he's the best in the league. But look at his April numbers, not very good. And I think those are among the reasons why they're going to handle him with kid gloves in April. He's not going to go past 5 innings this month. So, it's all very customized. It's all very case by case.
Give you another one, and now this is also going to be like matchup dependent, right? But I don't like chasing stats usually on a pitcher. Mackenzie Gore, brilliant in his first start, struck out 13. They posted, like you would think, a very achievable K prop the next time out, 5.5. But that's why it's tough. He did not go over 5.5 in his next start.
Yeah, and, I'm not taking anything away from Mackenzie Gore, but there were crazy shadows in that opener on Thursday. And there were big strikeouts on both sides. And even the bullpen guys were punching people out. So buyer beware with some of those strikeouts.
Testing 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1.
Because, you got the Yankees who have not looked very sharp the last couple days. And in 70 plate appearances, I just saw this, in 70 plate appearances this series, they've struck out 30 times. Arizona's hot. They've scored 21 runs in their last 3 games. It's the standalone night game. And I don't think Carlos Carrasco has anything to get the Diamondbacks out. Paul Goldschmidt's got numbers.
10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1.
Try to live on his slider tonight. I think Paul Goldschmidt among the players that I'm flipping it around. Sorry. Gurriel against the slider, and Carrasco on the other side against Merrill would be guys I'd like tonight.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I see. Do you have a torpedo bat?
10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I tried to steal the torpedo bat from MLB Network yesterday, and they caught me walking out the door with it at 12:30 at night after doing the Braves-Dodgers game. The torpedo bat thing's fascinating, man. Yeah. Look, everybody's ordering them now, right? Dave Roberts told us yesterday that that's my tennis trophy, by the way, a participant trophy from
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Dave Roberts said that his guys are just ordering them now, and they're not even being customized for it. The secret sauce behind this bat is that they take all the data points, they figure out on what part of the bat a guy makes most of his contact, and they move the sweet spot in the barrel there. You're just ordering a generic torpedo bat. I'm not sure what that's going to do for you. But this thing has so much traction now, and I'll tell you where those guys are going to make their money. It's in the amateur market with all these little league dads that think their kid's going to be the next Anthony Volpe here in the Northeast.
Yes.
Get a box of torpedo bats for my son because he's going to be in the big league, damn it, and I don't care how much they are.
Wow, that's a
They're
great
going to make
point.
so much money.
Okay, so
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
the Yankees and some of the guys with torpedo bats in his first start. He goes again tonight from Milwaukee. Ellie Daly Cruz is like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. The first time he did, he had, what do you have, 7 RBIs, a home run, a couple stolen bases, whatever it was, huge game.
Yeah.
Does Nestor get rocked again tonight?
I'd have a hard time thinking that they'll let him get rocked. The Brewers bullpen's finally kind of found itself, and if he struggles, I don't think they're going to let him get rocked. First of all, he shouldn't have pitched in that series in the Bronx.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'd admit privately that they messed that up and did him a disservice when they let him face guys that knew him well with pressure and nerves and all that. Cincinnati has been shut out for 19 straight innings. So if ever there's a night for Nestor to go and flip it, it's tonight in Milwaukee. In fact, the Reds, there's only been one team
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4,
in
5.
era that's been shut out in 3 straight 1-0 losses. I think it was the 1960 Phillies. But that, these are the things, again, that make baseball so weird in April. Who would have thought? And the Reds were loud in one of their wins against Texas, and then they got shut out the next night. So if I had to pick a side on that one, I'd say Nestor shows up tonight, and the Brewers are good.
Have you seen enough? Is Sacramento a launching pad?
Holy cow. I mean, I know
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
As we all do. I am shocked at how the ball's moving there. Everybody looked at that and said this was a pitcher-friendly park in AAA. All the park-adjusted numbers said it was a pitcher's place. But we don't know what MLB has done with the mound. We don't know what they've done when they've made it a quote-unquote major league ballpark.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It does.
If it continues, and we're not even in the hot summer months in Sacramento, that's something to watch.
You want to hang around for a couple more minutes, or you got to go?
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here with nothing to do. I got puppets in the background.
All right. Very good. We'll continue here talking Major League Baseball with Matt Vasgersian on the program. I want to ask him about the Tampa Bay Park as well coming up here.
Testing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Amazon's Prime Video will get a Christmas football game for the NFL 2025 season, joining Netflix on the streaming front for the holiday. As part of Amazon's deal for Thursday Night Football, the game just happens to fall on December 25th. Former minor league baseball player Randy Miller and his father Chad Miller were charged with fraud over the failure of an Arizona sports complex that cost municipal bondholders more than $280 million. Prosecutors say the Millers allegedly forged documents and misrepresented interest from pro sports teams to draw investors to their legacy park development. Mixed Martial Arts League UFC has reached a multi-million-dollar multiple-year sponsorship deal with technology company Meta. According to CNBC, the deal will integrate UFC with Meta across its products and platforms. UFC CEO Dana White is on the board of Meta. With the Bloomberg Business of Sports Report, I'm Michael Barr.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web.
It's this right here.
Again and get vaccinated because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the mac, one of the
Countdown to face off 5 minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app at a time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
On the next A Numbers game, the Final Four is upon us. Dallin Cuff from ESPN chimes in with his plays for Saturday's semifinals. Plus, we'll hear from Dr. Bob, who's been on fire all year in college hoops. He'll give us his take. And, of course, because it's Friday, the second hour, Fezzik and Felica. Chris Felica, the Bear from Fox Sports, with all of his bets across multiple sports. And Steve Fezzik, everything that's on his mind from a sports betting perspective. School with Fezzik. Numbers game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
Ready, set, bet.
I'm not going to sit here and put the tinfoil hat on and all the things like that, but as a prospect, Arch Manning is light years ahead of Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart. And if you're Tennessee, man.
Dude, this is what I keep going back to.
Are you taking Cam? I mean, like, I know all signs seem that that's going to be what they're going to do, but do you just roll the dice and hope that you can be terrible again?
Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet, Saturdays at 7 and Sundays at 8 Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
We will continue our discussion here on Major League Baseball. Love Matt Vasgersian, does a great job on MLB Network. Kind enough to hang around for a second segment here.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world. Please stand by for a special presentation of Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
And we welcome you to Pavlansky Field here at the corner of 170 and Dobbins Road as Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network, is proud to bring to you Poland Bulldogs lacrosse here as we get started in this early 2025 season. And today, the Poland Bulldogs will take on their crosstown rival here in the Canfield Cardinals. Hello, everyone. Jim Craven with you along with the coach, Bob Gessler, as we get ready for this first broadcasted game of the season. Cardinals come in at 2-1 on the season so far. They started their season on March 21st as they would take on St. Vincent St. Mary. They would get the 6-2 win, and Archbishop Hobom would be next in line for Canfield. However, the Cardinals would fall by a score of 18-5. And then on March 27th, they would take on the Southeast Pirates, where Canfield would pick up the 14-2 win. For Poland Seminary High School, they are 0-1 on the season. One game under their belt here so far. They played back on March 25th. They took on Southeast. They took a 15-6 loss on that day. However, a couple players missing out of the lineup. And today, head coach Kincaid Marakovich, coach, going to see a full roster for the first time. And for a head coach, that's a pretty tough position to be in. But he's in his second year so far, doing a great job. The Poland Seminary graduate and former Mount Union Purple Raider lacrosse player.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. And again, the sad thing is we know that he wasn't at full force too, so that kind of stumped him a little bit on his first game. So now he's going to get his team. So we're hoping that they put it all together, and the people that they were missing, Will Craven won, and he was out somewhere, out west somewhere doing something.
Well, out west, getting some sun. He and Connor Mold making the trip out to Irvine and Anaheim, California, as they would compete in the USA National Hockey Championships, as they won the 2025 Buckeye Cup with the Canton Akron Jets. So, of course, they will be back today. and they will be taking on a very strong Canfield team. Canfield building a great program over there. Yeah. Poland as well. When you take a look at the Poland roster, we see a core of 5 seniors there in Josh Maseko, Connor Casey, Jason Ike, Nick Blanche, and Ralph Mold. But you also start to see a lot of freshmen and sophomores now filtering in here, trying to keep this program going. And for Canfield, for schools like Canfield and Boardman, they've done the one thing that you've always talked about, and that was building it from a young age. 4th, 5th, 6th graders, and both those schools have done it, and the success is showing.
Yeah, you build it from the ground up, and that's exactly what you have to do. So by the time they become the, even sophomores, juniors, seniors, they're ready to go, and you have a strong nucleus with that too, and that's something that you have to do. And you don't see this game out there. It's getting better. It's getting more popular. Obviously, when I played, it wasn't there, but we were lucky to have leather helmets at that time. But so it's going to be, I'm sure that Poland's going to get better as the years progress. But, a good team, and they play well together.
Yeah, certainly. We're looking forward to that. Just moments away here. Captain's meeting at midfield. Take a look at the starters here for the Canfield Cardinals. And then on defense, it'll be number 3, Owen Lolakis. Number 6, defenseman, Max Flesher. Number 13 on attack, the senior, Max Billick. Number 18, the midi, junior, Parker Alquist. On attack, it'll be number 27, Tyler Reed. Number 30, midi, junior, Nick Weber. And number 31, attack, a sophomore, and Jackson Kimball. And defensively, also for Canfield, it'll be number 44, the senior, Adam Omron. Number 56, midi and junior, Charlie Boris. And number 88, in net for the Canfield Cardinals, it will be the sophomore, J.J. Boris. We talk about Charlie Boris. We saw him play last year. An outstanding lacrosse player in the area, looking to do some things coming up into college, has size, speed, and certainly has that fast shot.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the roster, you see a lot of sophomores that are starting this game, and that's what you have to do. Get these young kids in early, get them a taste, and then as the years progress, you hope that they just progress up and get stronger, which they have.
And we take a look at the starters as Dave Ferris checking in on us. Just keep an eye on our levels here,
Yes, absolutely.
A little tight on that, so we appreciate that from Dave. Take a look at the starters here for the Poland Seminary Bulldogs. It'll start off with number 2, the senior, Josh Maseko with the short stick defensive midi. Number 4, Len Mark, the sophomore long stick defensive midi. And number 8, Dominic Schwartz, the defenseman, the junior. And it'll be Max O'Brien on attack, also a sophomore. The senior, Connor Casey, number 12. It'll be at number 14, Wesley Cowles on attack. He is also a sophomore. Senior, Jason Ike, number 15. And number 17, Nick Blanche on defense. On defense, also the long stick defenseman, it will be Will Craven, the junior. And, of course, I may have overlooked number 6, Connor Mold. We can't forget him on the midi and attack here, the junior also. And then in net, it will be his brother, the senior, graduating this year, Ralph Mold, in net, number 23. And I've known those young men for a long while. And Coach, time flies. You start looking at these gentlemen here, and they're talking about going to college and moving on to other things.
Yeah, we kind of discussed something a little bit earlier coming up to the booth, and was pointed out. We were talking a little bit about Western Reserve Scourge football, and this will be our 10th anniversary that we won the Ohio football championship. We were in the Carnation division, and we won it all. And I said, 10 years already. Wow, time just flies.
And yet we don't age. It's absolutely amazing.
Oh, absolutely not. I want to tell you, Jim looks like he's a sophomore in high school.
All right, I think we've overdone it here so far here as we get ready here. Pregame continues. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have the national anthem. We'll get this one started here. You're listening to Poland Bulldogs Boys Lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier. Then make sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday 10 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Our nation's national anthem as we get ready for Game 2 of the 2025 season. The Bulldogs come in at 0-1, dropping their first game to Southeast. And today they will take on their rival, the Canfield Cardinals. Cardinals getting the best of best of Poland last year. And of course, we talked about Coach building those foundations from the bottom. And there's been talk of maybe establishing a younger program here. And certainly Canfield and Boardman have been the kind of the poster child for that.
Yeah, no, I think that would it would help the lacrosse here at Poland, and that's anywhere. I mean, if you could get a good younger program going, whether it's in the junior high level or even outside of the junior high as they're growing up, man, by the time they become even sophomores, as we see freshmen, sophomore, juniors, they'll be ready to go. And I think that would be a great thing for Poland lacrosse. And you'll see a difference. I mean, that's just how it goes. You know, if you start out young, you're going to get better.
Ralph Mold will be in the net to our left. And it will be J.J. Boris in the net to our right as we are just moments away here from face-off. And for the Poland Bulldogs, it'll be Nate Sosnowski, the sophomore. Short stick defensive midi. I'll get it out here as we try to get away from the hockey season now.
We got it. We'll get it. We'll stumble a little bit. We'll have it rolling here shortly.
Numbers a little bit hard to see here for Canfield. They're going to be in there all black with the red numbers and red detail. Poland in there all white with the blue numerals, white helmets. And we are underway, and it's going to be Charlie Boris with the face-off for Canfield. Get it out to the far side, and it'll head out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover. Poland will get the ball here. We're just underway here. 11:56 left here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us here on Western Reserve Radio, if you're listening in on the Live 365 app, we do appreciate that. As Poland will inbound this one, it's going to be a bouncing pass, but picked up at midfield by Will Craven. Craven with the spin move into the zone now. Looking for somebody on the outside. He'll slow it down, wait for the change, and kick it back up. Connor Mold now with the ball up top. They'll reset it. He'll be joined by Alex Cook. Craven going to head to the sideline, and he'll be replaced by Connor Casey. Poland now on offense. They'll have everybody in here. Just about 11 and a half minutes here left first quarter. As Mold trying to send this one down. A little bit of a lopsided pass. He'll get that to Sobrian. Max Sobrian back to Mold up top. Now Casey to the far side. Mold going to take the golf shot. Going to go wide right of the cage, out of bounds. Poland will maintain possession, but first shot of the game already. And you can see how they would miss a Connor Mold, especially with that golf shot. We talked about that shot with him the other day. He said, I'm not going to do that as much, but first time out, he went low.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I like the shots like that because it's hard for the goalie to get there.
Mold sending this one down low. He'll get it to Sobrian. Sobrian tried to get it to the X. Going to be a deflected pass picked up by Poland again. Back out to Connor Mold. He'll be on the near side. He'll move laterally. Try to move to the inside. Was looking for Jason Ike. Got him on the pass. Ike couldn't get the pass off. He'll have to reset high. Overcast skies here in Poland. Just about 69 degrees here. We were down on the field early. A little bit of rain here. Hoping we're going to make it through the game, but there is a chance that we could see some precipitation. As Mold now trying to work to the inside. He'll take a second shot. Going to go high over and out of bounds. Second shot of the day for Poland. Second shot for Connor Mold. A switch in roles, actually, as Connor Mold is a hockey goalie. His brother Ralph, a lacrosse goalie. And that makes for one nervous mom.
Yeah. Especially with both of her children not on the field.
And speaking of, Justine Carney joining us up in the box, the sister of Connor and Ralph Mold. It's a family affair.
Absolutely.
As Mold now will rotate this around. It'll be Alex Cook. It'll make his way to the near side. Connor trying to find some room to work. He'll get it to the outside. Try to drop it down low. Back to Mold. Poland being very patient here with just under 10 minutes to play here, first quarter. As Cook now kind of walking it off. Trying not to make too many abrupt passes. Again, Canfield, a strong team and an experienced team nonetheless, as Mold trying to work to the inside. Takes the shot. It's going to bounce right to the cage, head out of bounds. And the Bulldogs will maintain possession. So all three shots taken here so far by the junior attackman. And Sobrian now send it back out to Connor Mold. Mold over to Cook. Cook trying to get it to the right of Boris. Working to the inside. Trying to get a shot off, but defensively Ike couldn't get past all the black jerseys. A golf shot. It's going to go in. Poland takes a 1-0 lead. 9-10 left here, first quarter. Almost at first period, Coach.
I tell you what I like the patience. A lot of patience, passed it around. I think I got Canfield a little bit frustrated, and they got him lackadaisical on that play, and they were able to shoot it in. So now what we got to do is last year we saw a lot of turnovers by Poland. We got to make sure that the turnovers are down this year and just be patient like they were.
And we know that turnovers are killers for Poland. As Sosnowski now with the face-off against Boris. Charlie Boris now actually going to send this one back, and he'll get it back as Canfield will go for a change. Canfield back at the X now. Ball loose, and try to keep it in. It's going to head out of bounds. Turnover for Canfield.
Like the patience, that's what we got to do. Canfield starting out a little bit shaky, and Poland's right there on them.
So Ralph Mold now going to bring it out of the crease, try to clear it upfield. He'll get it out to Craven. A bouncing pass. Craven, though, with the long stick, going to be able to reach in, and he'll head for the zone, and then he'll head for the sideline as the Poland offense will make their way to the field. Ike now from the far side. He's going to wait. So far, the key to this has been patience, as Ike now will get that out to Cook. Cook going to wait for Connor Casey to set up in the middle. He'll be in the low slot area. Connor Mold now from the top. He'll be one-on-one with Bryson Prevost. And again, somewhat frustrating for Canfield. They look like they want to get into a game here. Poland's just taking their time.
And here we go.
Ike now trying to get into the slot. Takes a bouncing shot. Going to go over the cage and head out of bounds. Closest one to it will be Wesley Cowles.
Poland very patient this year.
And I'm sure that's something that Coach Marakovich has preached. And a shot wide left of the goal by Max O'Brien.
And Max had the upper right corner of the goal. He just overshot that little bit.
So 7:45 left here. As Poland now reset the offense, Connor Mold, he'll be the high attackman. 7:36 left here, first quarter. Poland with a 1-0 lead. Trying to work to the outside. Trying to work through the Canfield defense. And he'll have to settle for the perimeter. Trying to work in the slot. Great pass. But Canfield reacting quickly, taking away the slot. And they'll work it all the way around. Jason Ike with the ball. He'll work his way into the X. He'll work around Cowles. He'll lose the ball. And Canfield with the turnover. It'll be Boris.
Just a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Needed to pass around a little bit more, I think.
So Boris going to clear this one out to Adam Omron. Talked about him a lot last year as well. As the ball now to the right of Ralph Mold. Into the slot. Craven with the long stick. Going to take the lane away from Isaiah Simons. Ball to the far side, trying to work it to the X. Nick Blanche defensively for Poland there. Into the slot, going to take the shot. A great stop by Ralph Mold. Wow. 6.5 minutes left here, first quarter. And Blanche now going to send this one to the near side to Mark Len. Len not able to handle it. It's going to head out of bounds. Turnover. Canfield will take over with 6:20 left here. They'll take over on the Poland side of the field.
Just got to take their times on their passes. They had them open. You just got to settle down.
Smoky 30, yellow, Smoky 30.
Changes are made.
So from the X position, they'll get it swept to Jackson Kemble. Kemble out high, low pass. Canfield doing an excellent job of backing each other up on that. From the outside, Maseko providing defense. Will get it down to the X. Canfield trying to find somewhere to work to the inside, but they'll have to send it back out. And they'll send it out to Isaiah Simons again. Ball loose again, having a little trouble controlling it for Canfield.
Looked like Will Craven knocked it out of the stick, Jim.
The 5'7" long stick midi.
Towering.
And might be the only player who's 5'7" with a stick that's 5'7". I'm not sure.
But you know what? He's smart and he's aggressive and he knows how to do it.
Canfield again back from the X to the right of Mold, trying to work it back upfield. From around the perimeter, trying to get around Craven. Craven with the long stick. And he likes to shove that right around the belt line. Kind of take that core away from you. And a pass into the slot. Going to be overthrown. Jackson Kemble couldn't pick it up, but Canfield will recover. It'll be Simons with the ball. He'll send it back to the far side. Nick Weber trying to set it up. They'll rotate it around to the X. And then back out to Kemble. Kemble back up high again. And Canfield trying to work down there. Trying to work off the pick of Simons. Craven was right there. Shot on goal. And Canfield will maintain possession here. 4:34 left. First quarter. Poland with a 1-0 lead.
Craven did a good job because he was jabbing him, and he never got a good pass out.
Into the slot, shot off to the left side of Connor Mold. Canfield ties this one up. And I believe that was going to be Max Billick on the goal for Canfield. That comes at 4:27 of the first quarter, and we are all tied up at 1.
Yeah, it was a great pass from behind the net, and I mean he caught it on the dead run and was right there, and the defenseman was not quite in position. He was able to flip it right in.
Face off here for Boris and Sosnowski.
Goal number 13, Max Billick.
Max here. Dad Damian Downer taking pictures for Canfield. As we'll have the face-off. And Boris will win this one. He'll head right down the slot with a truck. With some speed like a truck. He takes a shot. Stopped by Mold. And Craven going to recover this. Going to work to the inside. Trying to find when he's going to lose the ball. And Boris going to knock it out of the net. And it's going to be a battle between Craven and Boris. Again, fighting outside his weight class a little bit. And we're going to get a whistle. And it's going to be timeout, I believe, for Poland. 4:07 left here, for Canfield. 4:07 left here, first quarter. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Poland Seminary High School Boys Lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Your home for PAFL football. Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
.407 left here, first quarter. We are all tied up at 1. Poland takes the timeout. Canfield with possession on the Poland side of the field. And so far, a close game here. Canfield putting up some numbers here. Overall the season, though, scored 25 for them, gave up 22 here so far. So they have a tendency to give up some goals.
Right.
But again, 2-1, they are still above 50% here early in this season. Canfield from top, it'll be Simons. Simons sending it into the slot. They'll have to send it to the far side over the stick. And it's going to be recovered by Poland. Alex Zedeker with the ball. He'll get it to Craven. Craven through the zone. He's going to have Sobrian there. Sobrian couldn't handle the pass, and it's going to be picked up by Canfield. Max Flesher with the recovery for the Cardinals. He'll get it to Boris. Boris clearing it out to midfield. And he'll have Schwartz and Craven in front of him. Ball loose, high in the air, but Simon's going to be able to pick this one up out of the air.
That was a lucky bounce, straight up to him.
Sometimes better lucky than good as Billick trying to work against Maseko. 3 white jerseys now in front of Billick. He'll send it back to the outside. He'll get it out to Simons. Simon's going to be patient. Craven again with the long stick in front of him. He'll send us over to Weber. Weber, high guy, rotated around the perimeter now, back to the X. Bobbled pass, but they'll recover it from the X position. Just under 3 minutes to play here, first quarter. Canfield back out to the outside. Kemble sending it back high. Out to Alquist. Simon now with a head of steam. Craven had to get through the pick there. And actually going to get the better of that, and he'll knock Weber down. I think they're going to consider that a shot on goal, so Canfield going to maintain possession. 2:45 left here, first quarter. We are all tied up at 1. Canfield up high now. It'll be Alquist trying to set it up from the near side. Get it over to Weber. Weber, one-on-one with Jake Platt. From the inside, Craven trying to reach around, going to knock the ball loose, and picked up by Canfield, and we're going to get a whistle.
Parks. LSM at the ready.
Okay, not sure what the call was on that. We got a whistle here, but it's going to be inbounded by Canfield on the near side. 2:20 left here, first quarter. Poland 1, Canfield 1.
Didn't get a call either from the official.
All right. We are back in play as Alquist now sending it to Simon. Simon to the far side. He'll get it out to Weber. Weber taking his time. Jake Platt working laterally in front of him. Back out to Alquist. Alquist working to the inside, trying to work past Craven. Takes a shot. It's going to go in. 1:59 left here, first quarter. Canfield takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, great move, and he just got right in front of the net. Craven tried to do what he can do with his stick, but he outran him to the front of the goal, and there was nobody there.
I don't know if they're going to count that, Coach, here. We must have missed something here because there was no face-off.
Maybe there wasn't.
All right, I think they're going to wave that goal off. Still 1-1 here. As we'll correct that, Poland finally back on their end of the field. So we'll try to get some kind of explanation from that at some point. But Connor Mold now going to set this one up high. He'll be out there with Alex Cook. Mold sent it to Cook. Cook feinting as if he were going to go inside. He'll think better. Won't be able to get past Erickson.
Canfield's being more aggressive on defense coming at him.
Cook to the inside. Probably would have been better served taking a shot on that. Ball going to come loose, though. Recovered by Canfield. That's going to be Lolakis on the recovery. He'll get this to Boris in the crease, and he will clear it out to midfield. And ball loose. High pass. Couldn't be handled by Canfield. Picked up by Poland. No possession here. Loose again on the ground. And this time, Canfield will secure it. Jackson Kimball will bring it to the near low side.
Canfield let balls loose. They are going for it. Poland's got to be a little bit more aggressive on a loose ball.
Alquist now from the high near side to us. He'll take his time. He's going to have Simon laterally across from him. Alquist with Maseko in front of him. Trying to work to the inside. Trying to spin move. Feinted. He'll lose the ball, though. It'll be knocked out of his stick. And Canfield going to recover, though, into the slot. Going to take the shot. It's not going to go in.
Good.
Oh, they're going to say it is going. Okay. All right, so this one, I believe, is going to count. Again, we're still a little baffled by the first one that they did not count for Canfield. So they're going to run those 2 seconds off, I believe. If they are, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Oh, no, they're actually going to put the 2 seconds back on, as we'll have the face-off. Sosnowski and Charlie Boris, the junior. We talked about these lower-level programs and that a lot of these guys know each other. Many of the Poland players played for Boardman when they had that youth club program, so they get to know each other pretty well. Charlie Boris will win this one clean. Going to take the golf shot and going to be easily stopped by Ralph Molden. That will bring us to the end of the first quarter here in Poland. We go to the second quarter. Canfield with the 2-1 lead over Poland. You're listening to Poland Boys Lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go. Wow! The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem Sports Talk is on the iMedia One Network, Youngstown, Ohio.
We'll flip sides of the field here. Canfield with a 2-1 lead. And it would be Connor Mold that would get the scoring started with 9:10 left in the first quarter. That would put Poland up 1-0. And at 9:27 of the first quarter, Max Billick would bury one for the Canfield Cardinals. That would tie it up at 1. There would be another goal in there, would be waved off. And then it would be Alquist with just 2 seconds left in the first quarter that would give Canfield the 2-1 lead. And, Coach, so far you can't be really disappointed. Defensively, Poland playing well, but they got to get off this side of the field.
Yeah, and that's the issue. They got to be more ball control. In their first score, they went to our end, but the problem lies is they were patient. They need to be patient with this. Little bit of ball handling was off a little bit. The other thing that we've got to start winning these face-offs because we've lost every one of them. We've got to do a better job there.
Boris now in the net to our left. It'll be Mold to our right. Sosnowski and Charlie Boris will battle for this one, and he'll win this one as well. He'll scoop this one out to Bryson Prevost. Canfield trying to work to the inside past Craven. He'll stay lateral. It'll be Charlie Boris on that one. These two have seen each other many years there, Craven and Boris. And now it'll be Simon. Simon sending it over to Alquist. Alquist high on the far side of the field. Simon's cutting through, was looking for the pass, couldn't get to it. And Alquist now trying to work to the inside. Takes a shot, and he'll find the back of the net. And Canfield will take a 3-1 lead with 11:28 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're leaving the front of that net open. Canfield is, what's happening is they're spreading their guys all over. So the man at the top is taking clearing everybody out, getting around his man. He's got a clear shot to the net. So when that starts happening, unfortunately, we have got to come off our player and do a better job.
So Alquist going to get his second goal of the day.
18.
As we'll have the face-off here. Boris easily going to win this one again. He'll pitch it out to Simon. Simon going to bring it into the zone. Canfield setting up to the near side. Pass going to be picked up by Nick Blanche. Blanche, though, pushed out of bounds. And Canfield will take over with 11:14 left here in the second quarter.
Yeah, we got to get it out of there. Got to be a little bit more aggressive. You have to do what we got to do on that one. And that's a senior. He knows better on that.
Billick now sending us down to the X. He'll rotate that around to Tyler Reed. Out to the far side. And back up top, he'll get that to Nick Weber. Weber trying to work to the outside of Craven. Craven going to knock the ball loose. He'll have the recovery, and he'll head to the other side of the field, being chased down as he'll get into the zone. And we're going to have a flag, delayed penalty coming up. As Craven will get this to Ike. Ike, a little high to the right of Boris. He'll set it back up top, and he'll get it out to Alex Cook. 10:32 left here, second quarter. Delayed penalty coming up as Connor Mold now, as the high attackman, will get this back down to Cook. Cook trying to work to the inside. Can't get the shot on. Actually gets it off, but an easy stop by Boris. And penalty coming up. We'll see if we can catch some audio from our officials and see what this is going to be.
Offside, Jim. It's what I saw with one official.
Canfield coaching staff disagreeing with that. So does Canfield have two players going to the box? Right now, Cameron Conrad and Isaiah Simons. Nope. Conrad will head back to the field. So offside. This one will be Jackson Kimball. It will take the penalty.
Still making changes.
So 10:14 left here, second quarter. Poland will go to the first man advantage of the day. As it'll be Cook. Now sending it across over to Connor Mold. He'll be on the far side, rotated it around low. He'll be to the left of Charlie Boris. Back up top. Get it to Turner. Turner circling it around to Cook. Cook dropping it to Ike. Ike having to work back to Cook. Poland taking their time here. 9:50 left here, second quarter. Poland a little bit more success when they've been patient.
Yeah, but you got to remember you've got that penalty, so.
And a pass across field intended for Alex Cook. Cook couldn't connect on it. They'll clear the penalty. And Poland 0 for 1 on the man advantage today.
Yeah, they have got to be more patient on that. And they've got to think, too, during that penalty. You've got to have a clock in your head.
Canfield now clearing this out into the offensive zone. And it'll be Craven defensively slowing it down. As the Cardinals will drop this low into our near side. That'll be Tyler Reed. Reed out to the X. We'll get that out to Billick. Billick with Nick Blanche in front of him, sending it to the far side. Mark Lendo there defensively. They'll force him to go back up high again. And working to the inside. It'll be Allquest. Allquest patient enough though to drop it in. Working to the inside now, going to try to take the shot. It's going to go in. Thought there might have been a crease violation, but the official's going to say no. And Canfield will take a 4-1 lead with 8:59 left here, second quarter.
Yeah, he saw an opening. He come around that net, and he just dropped it in and bounced it in for the goal. Poland has got to be aware of what's going on. They're a little sluggish right here, but they've got to be more They got to communicate more.
Okay, that'll be Allquest with his third goal of the day, giving Canfield the 4-1 lead. $8:59 left here, second quarter. Canfield 4, Poland 1. And new face-off man for Canfield. Number 17, but we don't have a 17. Ball going to head out of bounds to the far side. It's going to remain Poland's ball. Oh, excuse me, they're going to say no Canfield ball. As Allquest will make his way back to the field. Canfield going to set it up at the top here. 8:48 left, second quarter. Zach Dingman with the ball now, trying to work high into the inside, gets it back to the X. And Canfield working around the perimeter. As a freshman, Zach Dingman working to the inside, gets it into the slot, takes a shot, and it's going to bounce over the cage. Good look for Canfield, just couldn't get the ball to come out right.
Yeah, he bounced it, but it was too far ahead of the net, and it went high and over.
Canfield from the X can bring it right into the slot. Went to take the shot, but it's going to be knocked away by Nick Blanche. Canfield will recover. And Tyler Reed will have the ball as he sends it over to Billick. Canfield moving laterally now. Tommy Lorelli. Lorelli working around the perimeter, looking to take a shot here. Couldn't get anything as he would run into Alex Zedeker.
That was a good defense by him.
Ball loose at the X is Nick Blanche right there with the long stick. And it's going to be Poland ball turnover with 7:47 left in the second quarter. Canfield with a 4-1 lead.
Now, Poland's got to go down there, and we got to get a score. We got to be patient, but we got to get a score. You can't let it get out of hand.
Ralph Mold from the crease. Sending out to the far side. He'll get it to Craven. Craven across field. He'll get to Maseko. Maseko, the senior, has concluded his football season here this year as well. Jason Ike to the near side. He'll dump it to Connor Mold. Mold to the right of Boris. Trying to get a lane. Couldn't find anything. Looking for somebody in the slot. Nobody there. Mold going to circle around the entire offense. All right, so Connor Mold from the far side of Cameron Conrad in front of him. Send the ball over to Connor Casey. Casey back and forth with Wes Cowles. Ball going to be picked off by Canfield, and it's going to be loose. Nick Blanche was right there. Ball's going to head out of bounds, and it's going to be Poland ball. Went off the stick of Max Billick, and Billick knew he had an opportunity. Mold now with the ball. High pass. He'll bring it down, though. Down the near side. He'll have Casey in front of him. 6:38 left here, second quarter. Mold working his way back over to Cook. Cook going to take his time. Has O'Brien to his far side there, but he's going to drop it down low into the X position. Into the slot.
There it is.
Shot on goal. Poland scores.
They set that up absolutely perfect, Jim. Great job.
Wesley Cowles gets the goal with 6:17 left here in the second quarter. Poland cuts the Canfield lead to 4-2.
They drew that. The goalie was in the net, and he had some help on the right side. And what happened was when the ball came this way, then they were able to get back to the right side, and he didn't get shipped over far enough. Wide open net. That's a great job by Poland, being patient and getting it there. But they got to move around a little bit more, and I see that's what's happening.
Sosnowski and Boris for the draw. 6:17 left here, second quarter. And Boris, again, easily winning these ones. Boris right down the slot, Craven in front of him, trying to take the lane away. He's going to swing around, takes a shot, going to go wide of the cage. Wide right of Ralph Mold and out of bounds. Poland will hold on to the ball. Tyler Reed will set this one up from behind the net. 6:05 left here, second quarter. Coach, when Poland slows down things a little bit and they really focus on it, they seem to do well.
Yeah, they've got to be more patient, but they also have to be aggressive too at times.
So Billick sending it out to the far side. He'll send it up high to Nick Weber. Weber over to Simons. Simons trying to get past Craven, and that long stick again. Into the slot, takes a shot. And a great stop by Ralph Mold. He gets the save. 5:34 left second quarter as Nick Blanche.
That's the other thing I noticed, Jim. Our passes are very high.
Seemed to be a common theme, even last year.
Yeah.
On the angle here, and we're going to have an offside coming up. And it will be Poland's ball with 5:21 left here in the second quarter. Kind of hard to tell who that was going to be. They were right at midfield.
Yeah, I mean, it was right there.
The official making a definitive call, though, as Old going to head to the sideline. Okay, well.
Out of bounds ball, Jim.
Yep.
Canfield ball.
So Canfield will take over.
Can't make those mistakes.
Owen Lolakis making his way up the near side. Another young man we've got in the meet here is his dad, Gus Lolakis. And Simon's now going to lose the ball. Took a whack from Jason Ike. Ball still loose. Ike's going to end up with it. He'll send it down into the slot. So Brian had it. Going to lose it. And now I don't think anybody saw it. Ball still loose as they'll work towards the near sideline. Cowles going to be knocked out of the way. So Brian going to end up with it, though. And finally, Poland will be able to settle it down as Jason Ike. We'll get it up to Connor Mold on the near corner to us. 4:33 left here, second quarter. Poland trails Canfield by a score of 4-2.
It was a good job that they did. We were able to get on that ball because it was bouncing all over the place.
So Mold now took the first three shots of the game. He's kept to the outside pretty much. Loses the ball this time. Going to have it knocked away by Nick Weber. And they'll head out to midfield here. And Canfield trying to recover it in the zone. Ball still loose. But finally, it'll get some control. Tyler Reed going to go to the far side and let Canfield set up. It'll drop it down low. Nick Blanche in the way, into the slot, takes a high shot, and it's going to go over the net. And I think it was Dominic Schwartz that caused that to go high.
Poland ball.
So Ralph Mold out of the crease on the near sideline here. He'll clear this one to the far side.
Oh.
Actually, won't clear it out. Ball going to be loose. Canfield with the turnover. Getting into the slot. And Craven going to pick this off. Only because of the long stick, coach. Ball, no possession. He's going to head to the sideline and kick back in. And Canfield will take the ball. 3:31 left here in the second quarter. Battling back and forth here between these two teams.
Yeah, but we got to get more control of the ball. We're getting things knocked away. We got to roll those nets so that ball can't be hit out.
Billick over to Allquist. Allquist trying to work past Craven. He'll reset. He'll be content to send it back over to Simons. Simon's going to drop it low. Over to the X now for Canfield. Out to the far side. Mark Len on defensively for Poland. Keeping her on the perimeter now. Simons up high, looking for somebody. He'll have Maseko right in front of him. Into the slot, and it's going to be a great job by Nick Blanche, knocking the ball loose before Canfield could take the shot. Mark Len now with the ball, clearing it out, and it's going to be over the head of Sabrian, and it'll head out of bounds. But a great job by Nick Blanche, the senior defenseman for Poland.
Well, I'd like to have had that ball, Jim, because we had four Canfield guys standing down here, and we had Poland guys walking down. All we needed to do was complete that pass, and we couldn't get it done.
Canfield now on their offensive side of the field. Dropping it down low to the right of Mold. Mark Len right there for defensively. I'll take that lane away. Weber now sending the ball over to Digman, the freshman for Canfield. And back to the X. Trying to work to the right of Ralph Mold. Into the slot. Knocked away by Craven, the junior. And again picked up by Canfield. Reed sending it back up high. And then to the far side. That'll be Digman. Canfield now trying to work to the left side of Mold. Craven there, stand lateral. He'll drop the ball low. And back to the X. Mark Len taking Waiter. Has a shot. If he can turn around. And another save by Ralph Mold. Poland with the recovery as Blanche tries to find an outlet. He'll try to get it to Craven. Craven, the long stick midi, having some trouble getting control of it. He'll have four black jerseys around him. He's going to need some help. Ball going to go out of bounds, and he's going to believe they're going to say Poland ball. With 1:17 left here in the second quarter, Poland trails 4-2. Okay, we got a whistle. I think they're just doing some housekeeping here. Actually going to say Canfield now. He pointed towards Poland. All right, and Canfield, I believe, going to take a timeout here. 1:16 left here, second quarter. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Poland Bulldogs men's lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back on the other side.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
The stations that are always ahead of the game.
Western Reserve Radio.
Western Reserve Radio 2 and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
.116 left here, second quarter. Canfield with a 4-2 lead over Poland.
They just have to be smart now, Jim. Don't give up a cheap one right now. Minute 16, you're still in this by far. Don't let them get ahead. So 4-2. Coming up on the half.
Jake Platt defensively now for the Poland Bulldogs. They'll bring this in from the far side to the right, from the right of Ralph Mold. They'll send it back up high. Dingman now up top with Maseko in front of him. Maseko working around the pick. Drop the ball down to Reed. Reed into the X, looking for that shot to the right, and then back out top. Trying to work to the inside. Craven working laterally, taking him around. Actually going to get the shot off. Going to go wide right of Ralph Mold. Canfield will maintain possession. 53 seconds left in the second frame. Canfield trying to work through the defense. Maseko knocking the ball loose. Trying to fight for it, but too many black jerseys around there. Didn't get any help as Nick Blanche couldn't get there in time. And now Canfield from the far side with Mark Lenn in front of him.
Shut him down.
Send the ball out to Dingman. Dingman over to Allquest. Allquest up high. Craven one-on-one in front of him. Going to have a pick behind him. Has to work around him. Ends up taking the shot, and it's going to find the back of the net. Allquest, with his fourth goal of the day, gives Canfield the 5-2 lead.
Well, we know who their match scorer is, so now we got to keep an eye on him. He always seems to cut right, roll out of it. So our defenseman, we have got to be able to switch people. He's got to be aware. He can't stay with that. If they're blocking Craven off to the edge, he's got to roll back because he's going to roll over to that side.
Sosnowski and Boris for the face-off. Connor Mold to the far side. Craven to the near side. He and Bryson Prevost, hip to hip. 18 seconds left here in the second quarter. Ball loose as Boris will win this one easily. He'll head right down the slot. Feed it over to the near side. And Canfield trying to work to the inside. Can't get anything there. Craven there taking it away from him again. Reed now with the ball, sent it up high. Taking the shot. And another great save by Ralph Mold with 2 seconds left. And that will bring us to the end of the first half here in Poland. We'll go to the break, Coach, with Canfield with a 5-2 lead.
Yep. Poland's got to get a little bit better. We've got to be able, when they roll out of that block, when the other defenseman has got to get there, and that's what's happening. They're running that pick. The other guy's got to roll off of that because that's all they're doing is rolling off away from the pick, and we're standing there. So we got to get there, and we got to be a little bit more aggressive on that.
And probably one of the things that I'm sure Coach Marakovich is going to take a look at, the face-off situation here. Charlie Boers, hard to beat, excellent at it. And they're going to have to come up with a solution with that. You're losing a possession every time.
Yeah, because I think we've gotten one so far. I don't believe we got any more than that. And unfortunately, when that happens, you're getting the ball, and we got to stop that. We've got to be able more aggressive.
Halftime here at Poland. Canfield with a 5-2 lead. We'll step aside for a timeout. You're listening to Poland. You're listening to Poland Men's Lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network. We're back right after this.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill?
Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Lena's Pierogi House is your home for the area's best variety of pierogies. Daily specials include the Polish platter, the Hungarian platter, stuffed cabbage, and halushki. Having a last-minute get-together? Lena's has you covered with a wide variety of frozen take-home pierogies and dumplings. Go to Facebook at Lena's Pierogi House to see the weekly lineup of available flavors for dine-in or carry-out. Catch the best at Lena's Monday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Tuesday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. 20 North Main Street in Hubbard or call 234-254-8532.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Halftime continues here at Pavlinsky Field in Poland. Canfield with a 5-2 lead here at the break. Take a look at the scoring here. Connor Mold, his first game of the year, he would get it started with 9:10 left in the first quarter. Would get Poland the 1-0 lead. And it would be Max Billick for Canfield at 4:27, finding the back of the net to tie that one up at 1-1 apiece. And it would be Parker Allquest with just 2 seconds left in the first quarter. They would give Canfield the 2-1 lead. Second quarter action, it would be the Parker Allquest show as he would find the back of the net with 11:28, 8:59, and 18 seconds left in the second quarter. It would be Wesley Cowles adding one as well for Poland. That coming at 6:17 of the second quarter. That brings us to our 5-2 score here as Canfield comes back after the 1-0 deficit. You know, Coach, we talked about the face-offs here. All important, so important. I don't care what sport you're playing. Possession is hugely important, but when you got Charlie Boris in there, again, we just talked to his mom here, has committed to Lynn University down in Florida, in Boca Raton, Florida. So hats off to him, number one. He is going on a partial academic and athletic scholarship. But from what she tells us, pretty nice down there in the old Florida area. I think some of us were a little bit jealous as we listened.
Yeah, it's just how it goes. They, let's just say when you go down there to get recruited or walk around the campus, when you're down in Florida, they bring some eye candy, as we say it, to be nice.
Well, the fresh air, and I'm sure the water doesn't hurt either. Anyway, just about 3 minutes left here at the half. Take a look at the schedule for Poland. and they're taking on Canfield tonight. And on April 8th, they will take on Boardman. That will be right here at Pavlansky Field on the campus of Poland Seminary High School. April 10th, they will host Canton Central Catholic. And then I am told that next Friday, a week from Friday, they will have the rescheduled game with Kent Roosevelt. That will be at Kent Roosevelt, followed up by Louisville, Mooney, Boardman, Glen Oaks, Southeast. Second meeting with Canfield and Mooney as well. So a couple meetings here, kind of almost a division-type games between Mooney, Canfield, Southeast, some familiar foes in here. And with this game, we've seen momentum switch quickly. So these are games that you don't put in the win column just yet as things changing. Teams get better during the season here. Poland, here so far, from what we can tell, has done a relatively good job, but again, the faceoffs have been the Achilles heel for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they've really got to work on that. I think last year we were maybe 50-50, but we've got to do a better job on that. You got to get the ball in your hands, and you got to things happen, and there's where the problem lies. And I honestly believe that they've got to do a better job of that, or find somebody who's going to be a little bit quicker. They've got to get it done.
Just about a minute and a half left here at the break. We'll step aside for one more timeout. When we come back, third quarter action here from Pavlansky Field in Poland. You're listening to Poland Bulldogs men's lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The stations that are always ahead of the game.
Western Reserve Radio.
Western Reserve Radio 2 and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Back here at Pavlansky Field as we get ready for third quarter action. Lacrosse season in full swing, no pun intended here, Coach. Canfield comes in at 2-1. Poland at 0-1. They dropped their first game on March 25th to the Southeast Pirates. And again, we talked about Coach Marakovich and the opportunity. This is the first opportunity he's had to see an entire roster out on the field. And so far, these are some obstacles and some mistakes that can be overcome very easily in terms of mental mistakes. But you got to like the patience that Poland's had on offense. They're not forcing a whole lot. But defensively, got to protect the house, got to get into that lane.
Absolutely, but as we talked about, we have got to start winning some faceoffs. That's, you got 7 scores here, and out of the 7 scores, we've only had 1 winning faceoff, and that is huge. We have got to do a better job with that.
We'll see what Coach Kincaid Marakovich has up his sleeve here for the second half as Poland trails Canfield by a score of 5-2. Sosnowski and Boris for the draw to get this third frame started. Poland again will have about 5 days before they take on Boardman. Ball loses this time. Sosnowski battling in there. Weber, though, recovering this for Canfield. And Craven forcing him out on the perimeter. Just underway here, third quarter. If you're just joining us here, Canfield with a 5-2 lead. And Boris now with the shot. And it's going to find the back of the net with 11:47 left. In the third quarter, Canfield takes a 6-2 lead. Just as we get underway here in this third frame.
Yeah, didn't need that right off the bat. I mean, we have got to do a better job with this. You know, Boris is a big, strong kid. We have got to get in his way, and we're just letting him slide. We've got to do a better job defensively.
Sosnowski and Boris again for the draw. 11:46 left here, third quarter. Poland trails by a score of 6-2. This one will trail back into the defensive zone, but it'll be scooped up and given to Weber. Weber from the far side. Or excuse me, that'll be Simons. I apologize. Simons going to drop it to the far side and out to the X. Mark Lynn there defensively. He'll get it to the right of Connor Mold and back up high. Sending it out to Weber. Weber to the far side, giving it to Simon. Simon trying to work around Craven. Craven taking the lane away. He'll have to drop it around the perimeter again. Nick Blanche there as well. Into the slot. Couldn't connect on the pass. And Ralph Mold going to scoop it up into the crease and get it out to Nick Blanche. Blanche clearing out to Craven. Craven spinning to the inside. Going to lose the ball, though. Had a couple black jerseys around him and couldn't maintain possession. So Billick now will set up the Canfield offense as the Cardinals will go for a change. 10:54 left, third quarter. Simons now up top. Set over Allquest. Allquest with Maseko in the way. Takes a shot, going to go off the post and out of bounds. Canfield will maintain possession. Allquest inbounding the ball. The junior for Canfield. Send it out to Simon. Simon on the far side. Again, working around the perimeter. Sending it back out to Kimball. Kimball up high. And Allquest trying to work around Maseko. Takes a shot. Going to go wide of the cage. It'll head out of bounds. Canfield again will maintain possession. 10:16 left here, third quarter. Canfield with the 6-2 lead.
The other thing I want to point out, this is only Poland's second game. This is Canfield's fourth. And this is the first game that Poland is in full roster.
Canfield now inbounding it from behind the net of Mold. He'll bring it back out to Allquest. Allquest with Maseko in front of him. He'll send it back up high. Get it up to Weber. Weber one-on-one with Platt. Maseko taking the lane away from Reed now. Reed dropping it back to the X. And back out to Allquest up high. Again, Maseko in the way. Canfield working around, trying to work off the pick. And trying to get back out to Simon. Simons wasn't expecting, but Allquest now will have it back as he'll see it into the slot. Great pass. And a save by Ralph Mold. Had to find the ball. Didn't cross the line. Was on the ground.
Don't get any closer than that.
Mold going to send this one out. It's going to head out of bounds over the head of Mark Len.
Turnovers. Can't have them.
9:19 left. Third quarter. So Allquest will be joined by Zach Digman. Simons dropping it low. Rotate it out back to the X. Canfield winning the time in possession. Is Allquest going to have to chase this out towards midfield, no problem. 8:53 left, third quarter. Allquest up high. The junior one-on-one right now with senior Josh Maseko. Send out to Simons. Simons on the far side. Again, rotating around the perimeter. Nick Blanche there, making sure they'll keep it there out to the X. Out to Kimball. Ball loose, but picked up by Canfield. Craven now one-on-one with the freshman Zach Digman. And it's going to be picked up by Maseko. Maseko heading into the zone. He'll Craven to his left. He'll keep the ball himself. Try to get it into the zone and get out to Sabrian. Sabrian, he's going to have to slow it down and wait for the changes. Connor Mold and Alex Cook will make their way onto the field. Mold now working around Bryson Prevost. And he'll have to double back. Mold one-on-one. He has a speed advantage. Just got to find that lane to the inside. Takes a shot. Wide right of the cage, and it'll head out of bounds. With 7:45 left here at third quarter, Canfield with a 6-2 lead. So Brian going to bring this in for the Bulldogs.
We got to get a good possession here. We got to get a score.
So Brian trying to work to the inside, have the ball knocked out of his net. And it's going to be picked up by Canfield. We're going to have a flag, though. Looks like, believe we're going to have a slash. We'll try to get the official call, but see if we can quite pick up the audio from the field. All right, so Max Flesher will take the penalty for the slashing. Poland will go to the second man advantage of the day.
We have to make stuff happen here now, Jim. We're a man ahead. Canfield does a good job with this in the center, but we have got to move.
Old now feinting to the inside. He'll work back out. He'll go down a little bit, try to find some lane there. He'll try to see if he can get past Prevost, but none doing. Send it back to the far side. Get it over to Cook. Cook patiently going to drop this down to Jason Ike to the right of Boris. Ike looking to take the shot. He'll get it back out to Connor Mold. Mold with the golf shot! And stopped by the Canfield netminder, J.J. Boris. All loose into the Canfield side of the field. And recovered by Bryson Prevost. Prevost, though, trying to work around the defensive Alex Cook. And we're going to get a whistle. Timeout taken here, and I believe that's going to be for Canfield. 6:43 left here, third quarter. Canfield is 6-2 lead. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Poland Bulldogs men's lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
The stations that always keep you in the zone.
I love it.
It's awesome.
Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
.643 left here, third quarter. Canfield taking a timeout as they'll have the ball on the Poland side of the field. Not too bad. Our umbrella's out now. We had a little bit of a light rain here, but not as bad as we could have been.
Yeah, you got a turf field. That's as long as there ain't the lightning like we had the other day.
Well, unless you're sitting in the stands, Yeah,
just hold on. Just hold on to a.
The great news is it never rains in the press box.
Yeah, we're always drier.
That's a lesson I learned from Mark Means.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What she said that you called a game with him at Grove City lacrosse.
Did. Beautiful campus over there, I'll tell you. Ryan Briggs and crew over there, great job. As got to see some President's Athletic Conference lacrosse. As Canfield now on the rotation around the perimeter, trying to work to the inside, trying to work past Zedeker. Gets into the slot. Ball loose, knocked away by Craven. Craven with the recovery, and he'll get it into the slot and has two options there. Going to get a flag. We'll see if it's delayed. Ball loose, no possession right now, high up in the air. Canfield's going to have it, and this is going to be a penalty coming up against the Cardinals. 5:53 left here, third quarter. And it looks like Poland will go to their third, man advantage. I was almost said power play here, Coach, with all them hockey terms.
That's okay. Isn't that what that is, a power play?
I think it is. That's what, I don't know. That's what we're going to call it anyway.
Instead of a stick with a curve, it's a net with a stick.
I don't believe we got the call here, but it'll be Nick Weber serving the penalty as Poland now will have a third opportunity at the man advantage. 0 for 2 here so far. Mold sending it across to Cook. Cook going to drop down low. Casey up high now. Back over to Connor Mold. Mold feinting to the inside. He'll step back. Trying to work past Max Flesher. Mold trying to work around that perimeter. He knows he has a speed advantage. Takes the shot. It's going to go off the ankle, I believe. J.J. Boris. Ball's going to be recovered by Alex Cook. And the Poland offense will reset. As the ball now down in the slot, so Bryan battling for it. Ball still loose, it'll head towards the sideline. And Connor Casey, the closest one to it, but he won't be able to hold on to it. And David Erickson will have the ball. We'll get the whistle. And I thought they were going to clear the penalty, but no. Poland with an opportunity. Here's Bryan to the far side. As the Bulldogs work the perimeter, Jason Ike coming up high, has an opportunity to take a shot, gets it off, and right into the net of J.J. Boris with 4:37 left. In the third quarter, Canfield with a 6-2 lead. And Canfield back to full strength.
Go.
As Craven will make his way to field. Poland, though, with the interception, working to the inside. Take the shot. It's going to go wide right of the cage. And it'll remain Poland ball. Great hustle by Jason Ike. Was knocked off his feet, but good look for the Poland Bulldogs. So Bryan now from the near side. Feinting a shot, and he'll have to slow it down. Send it back across the field to Cook. Cook back out to Connor Mold. Mold going to step back, reset. Again, looking to get to the inside. We'll get this back over to Cook. And the ball loose and picked up by Canfield. Turnover for Poland. Ball loose now, and it's going to be Ike with a shot. Try to scoop it up and go right over his shoulder. It'll head out of bounds, and it's going to be Canfield ball.
It was a shot on goal.
I believe they're going to say it came out of his net before it was an actual shot.
Wow.
Only thing I can think of at that point, but nonetheless, it'll be Alquist now down the near sideline. He'll pass up Connor Casey. He'll have to slow down and wait for the change. Nick Weber making his way to the field. 3:18 left, third quarter. Canfield with a 6-2 lead. Simons making his way to the offensive side of the field as well. As Bryson Prevost will come off. Alquist sending it over to Weber. Weber dropping it down to Simon. Simon down low. Nick Blanche right there.
Backside.
Kimball sending up time back to Alquist. Simon's trying to work past the Poland defense. Craven taking a swipe. He'll make him step back, drop it again. From around the right side of Connor Mold, trying to look for the lane again. It's going to bounce over the net and head back out of bounds. Canfield should maintain possession. With 2:33 left, third quarter. Craven stepping in, deflecting the pass. Loose over there, the long stick midi. Trying to get to it. 3 black jerseys around him, though. And we're going to have a pushing call coming up against Canfield. It'll be Poland's ball. 2:24 left in the third quarter. Ralph Mold now going to send this one to the far side to get out to Nick Blanche. Blanche working to the inside to Platt. Platt with the short pass. Tried to get it to Mark Len. Couldn't complete it. Ball loose now. And picked up by Canfield. Blanche, the only thing standing in the way there. Craven now finally trying to catch up. And a great stop by Ralph Mold with 2:03 left, third quarter. Picking up defensively for the Poland Bulldogs, but offensively they've got to find something. As the Bulldogs, again, can't complete the pass on the far side loose. But Nick Blanche there, the long stick defenseman, trying to gather it up. Canfield, though, will end up with it finally. Max Billick setting it up from the near high corner to us with Craven in front of him. Alquist making his way to the field as well as Isaiah Simons.
Got to keep an eye on Alquist because he's the one that's got the 4 goals. It's a great block.
Shot by Alquist. Stop by Mold. Another shot, but this one going to find its way in on the right side of Ralph Mold. With 1:13 left in the third quarter, Canfield with a 7-2 lead.
Max Billick right on that one. He caught the corner on that. They gave him an opening, and he took it.
Canfield goal number 13, Max Billick.
Canfield extending their lead And for Poland, this is going to be a matter of finding some offense.
Again, no excuse. It's only their second game together, but they got to do a better job themselves.
Sosnowski and Boris. Boris easily going to win this one again. And work it down the near sideline. Trying to drop it in the slot, trying to get it out to Dingman. Dingman couldn't handle it. Canfield, though, going to pick it up on the far side. Craven covering the far right corner for us.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, it was. There you go. Alquist back in there, tried to get the pass across field, couldn't connect on it, but Tommy Lorelli in there to keep possession for Canfield. Cardinals up high. Dingman dropping it down to the left of Connor Mold. Blanche there. And they'll have to send it back out to Alquist. Maseko taking the path away from him. Craven stepping in there. Trying to stay square there. Trying to avoid the twists and turns. As Canfield from the right of Mold looking for a shot. Takes it. It's going to find the back of the net with just 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Canfield with an 8-2 lead.
Poland's got to do a better job working. They're just getting manhandled when he gets close around around the net, and that's where the problem lies. They got to get better position on defense. Canfield knows what they're doing. Canfield, you can see, is a little bit more seasoned at this point in the season, and Poland's got to do a better job. Now we've got to win the face-off.
19 seconds left here, third quarter. Battle here's ball going to go high in the air and loose near the sideline. Maseko, the closest one to it. He'll step in, but he'll have two black shirts. And actually, Maseko came out with it and lost the ball again towards the sideline. Maseko throwing a shoulder, much like a defensive back. And it'll be Max Flesher with the ball now. He'll get it to Boris. Boris sent it out to midfield, tried to clear it. And I believe we're going to have... Oh, excuse me, that was going to be the end of the third quarter. So after three, Canfield with an 8-2 lead will step aside for a timeout. We come back. Fourth quarter action here from Pavlansky Field in Poland. You're listening to Poland Bulldogs men's lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One network.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Your home for PAFL football is the iMedia One Network. Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast, Youngstown, Ohio.
Fourth quarter action coming up here from Pavlansky Field in Poland. Canfield with an 8-2 lead over the Poland Bulldogs. And as it was pointed out to me, I keep calling Ralph Mold Connor Mold because
years
being the play-by-play guy for the Canton Akron Jets, Connor Mold is the goalie. So yeah, we have to move on from hockey and get into lacrosse here.
Rookie.
Third quarter action though. Scoring went like this. Charlie Boris with 11:46 left in the third quarter would get the scoring started in the second half. He would find the back of the net. And then it'll be Max Billick with back-to-back goals coming at just under 2 minutes to play. 1:13 and 19 seconds respectively, giving Canfield the 8-2 lead. And Sosnowski and Charlie Boris will come out for the face-off. And this has been the weak spot today for Poland. Some of the Poland Bulldog baseball team joining us here. As Maseko into the zone.
We stole one.
Maseko down the far side. Ike out there. Tried to pass the ball, but Looked like somebody had a stick in there, caused it to go high, out of bounds, turnover. And Canfield will take possession. 11:43 left here in the game.
We do have to do a better job, though, Jim, passing the ball. A lot of our passes are very, very high. We have got to be able to get that on the dead run, which Canfield does a better job.
Canfield down the near sideline. Craven stepping in, trying to stop Allquest. Allquest with Maseko in front of him now. He'll get it down into the X position. To the far side. I believe that's going to be Kimball. Sending out on the perimeter. And we'll get get a whistle. Ball go out of bounds. Canfield will maintain possession. 11:21 left in the game.
Wow, it looked like it was a pass to one of the players inside. I didn't think that was.
Yeah, initially I agreed with you. I thought that was going to be a turnover, but
it should have been a turnover. That was not that. These guys in stripes. You know how I feel. Just like kickers.
Tell us how you feel there, Coach. I'm sure nobody out here has ever heard it.
Never.
Nate Sosnowski now in defensively for Poland. Canfield working it around the perimeter. Simons now with the ball. He'll send it down low to the near side. Dingman down to the X. Back to the far side. Lennon defensively into the slot. Dingman there. Couldn't handle it. Craven swatting away at it. And picked up by Canfield. They'll maintain possession here with 10:45 left in the game. Things slowing down for Canfield a little bit. Simons to the far side. He'll drop it down low to the right of Ralph Mold in the net. Thought I'd get a good laugh out of everybody for that.
That's a good one.
Craven stepping in defensively, not giving him a lane, taking it away. Tyler Reed looked like thought he was going to have a shot, but work it back to the inside. Shot's going to go high over the net. That one hit about 10 yards in front of the net, but they're still going to say that's going to be Canfield ball. Cardinals working to the outside now, 10-10 left. They'll send out to Dingman. Dingman on the near side. Get back down to the X. They'll get it out to Max Billick. Billick trying to work around the right side of Ralph Mold. Battling to the front and a bounce pass into the net gives Canfield the 9-2 lead with 9:56 left here in the game.
Yeah, I tell you what, they brought around that net. His eyes were in the center of that net, and he came right straight down, was able to get the ball and throw it right in. And we just got to do a better job getting in front in between the net and whoever's got the ball. We just don't do a good job with that. We've got to be better at it. Let's just get there.
Seems like that slot area right in front of the net is a weak area.
Very much, Jim, very much.
As we'll get a whistle here as Dom Schwartz will head to the field. Craven to the near side. He'll be right along Sullivan Resnick. Resnick, the long stick midi, sophomore. Ball loose back here as Boris will win this one again. You have all the faceoffs. I think Poland's really only had a shot at two. Boris down to the near side. Trying to get a pass to Reed, but Reed couldn't handle it. It'll head back behind the net. And then picked up by J.J. Boris. Boris looking for an opportunity to clear it. Back to the X for Canfield. Trying to find right in the slot there. Another shot. And again, that area in front of Ralph Mold. Not getting any help there, and Jackson Kimball with the shot.
No, we had two defensive guys standing right there, and they did not break on the net. As soon as he got the ball, he had a clear shot. They have got to be aware. If you're going to play around that net or in front of that net, you have got to be aware of that seam up front. And it's like they got to move their feet. They got to be aware, heads turn, and see where that pass is coming from.
9:20 left here in the game. Canfield with a 10-2 lead. Canfield going to win this one easily again. Try to get it down into the zone here. They'll set it to the far side. Canfield making some changes now as we'll start to see a few new numbers here. Shot on goal going to be wide right of the cage. I think Nick Blanche welcomed sophomore Connor Catania, excuse me. A little bit of slashing on the arm there.
Just a bit.
Canfield now on the perimeter. Craven in front of him, taking the lane away. It'll drop it down low to the left of Mold. Back to the X. Working from the right side of the Poland netminder into the slot. Couldn't connect on the pass. Was looking for Reed.
But he did a good job. The ball got past him, and he faked like he had it. The Poland guys turned and didn't go after the loose ball. Actually, it was a good play by him.
Canfield back up top again. I'll drop it down low. I'll get that one out to Cataneo. Ball from around the left side and into the slot, and a shot from behind. And we're going to have a flag as Alex Zedeker came in with the shot from behind. And that's an easy call for the officials. And for the first time today, Canfield will go to the man advantage with 8:09 left here in the fourth quarter.
Well, the way they've been scoring, I kind of say, good job, even though you can be a man down. But now Poland's got to move around. Can't get out wide, bunch up in the middle there like Canfield's doing, and they go to good defense.
So 8:09 left here in the game.
I was going to say, we're one short.
Alex Zedeker serving the penalty for the Poland Bulldogs.
Jake Platt then brought in for Poland.
Back up top, Simons to the far side. Canfield again.
Don't get too far out.
With the ball movement. Canfield working around the perimeter. It'll get over to Simons. Simons up high. Here's. He'll drop this one. A shot on net, and it's going to go in the back of the net. Canfield takes an 11-2 lead. Trying to get a number on the score. And I believe that's going to be Max Billick, number 13 for Canfield. Excuse me, that'll be 18, so it'll be Allquest.
It's 5 for him today.
Parker Allquest having quite the stat night.
Okay.
I want to remind you, coming up this weekend, the Youngstown Phantoms will have a 3-game stint with the Chicago Steel here at the Cavelli Center in downtown Youngstown. Great seats still available. Call 330-747-PUCK, 330-747-7825. Come down for some affordable family fun. It's Craven stepping in the slot.
And Boris was out on that. They've got, get a number here. Okay, that's Daniel Lee has been taking the face-off, and he's won them both.
Ball loose here now as Canfield will pick this one up. 7:24 left in the game. From the high slot, trying to feed it over. Going to go over the head of Mark Len, and not quite going to make it out of bounds. Len held up a little bit, thinking that was going to go out, but the long stick defenseman trying to pick it up. Again, can't get possession. We'll get the whistle, and Canfield will keep the ball. Just over 7 minutes left to play here. Canfield on the perimeter again, taking their time here, mostly trying to eat the clock up here as we have just under 7 minutes to play. Canfield with an 11-2 lead. Canfield working to the inside of the slot and stopped by Ralph Mold.
Yeah, I would give the young guys a chance to play. I'd tell them, get out there and do what you got to do.
And it's going to be Connor Mold on the sprint onto the Poland offensive side of the field. Trying to work to the inside. 6.5 minutes left. And they've really shut him down here, and everybody knows what he can do.
That's what scouting does, Jim.
So Poland slowing things down here. They'll make sure they'll get the entire offense out. Poland, Alex Cook to the far side. Connor Mold, a little bit of a tease there, said, come on in there, Prevost. Sobrian with the ball here, trying to handle the pass, going to go out of bounds. Another turnover for Poland. Couldn't connect on it.
Lot of turnovers, a lot of balls being thrown high. He's got to work on these things.
So Canfield now with the ball to get it into the zone, but head over the head. Onto the far side.
The other thing I noticed too, Jim, on a loose ball, we send one guy, and Canfield's always has 3 guys around a loose ball. We got to get more people over there.
So up high for Canfield. Maseko defensively. Sending it down low.
Tucker.
Zach Tucker, the junior for Canfield, now on the field for the Cardinals.
Definitely a guard or tackle on the football team.
Probably the best place he can be for some off-season work right here.
Absolutely, Jim.
This will ball, pass back to the X. Pass was intended for Tyler Reed, but it'll go out of bounds. Poland will pick it up. Nick Blanche will inbound it for the Bulldogs.
I'd have my football players doing this. Absolutely, stay in shape. We always talked about track, but if you got this up.
And speaking of, into the slot. Try to find Reed again, but turnover again as Poland will have it. Craven to the near side. Makes one move to the inside, and he's going to lose the ball. It'll head towards the sideline. Ball up in the air now. Picked up. I almost had it. For Poland was Cowles. And it's like nobody wants it, Coach. Max O'Brien. Max O'Brien finally says, I'll take it.
That's all right. It was a good battle going on there.
So Brian sent us over to Connor Mold. Mold trying to work to the inside. Takes a shot. Wide left of the cage. 4:08 left here in the game. Canfield with an 11-2 lead. Shot again from the left by Sobrian. Going to head out of bounds. Poland will maintain possession with just 4:02 left.
Did a good job. He had it there. He couldn't get the angle.
Ike sending us out to Mold. Mold high near corner. Alex Cook to the far side.
Gotta go. We gotta go.
Holden Cook will switch sides. 3:45 left, fourth quarter. Lights on here at Pavlansky Field. Mold working to the inside. Look at it, takes a shot, and it's going to go high and wide of the cage, and we're going to have multiple flags coming out.
Push from behind or something. I mean, he went flying. Personal foul.
And they're going to have Sullivan Resnick on the penalty. So Resnick, the sophomore, getting some playing time, and he'll head to the box for his troubles.
Coach, I don't know what you're talking about. I just peeled him from behind.
3.5 minutes left here. Game 2 of the season for Poland Bulldogs, still looking for their first victory. Be back in action on April 8th, right here in Poland. They'll take on Boardman. That no easier of a task, as Boardman has built a great program over at Coach Lenhart, doing a great job there with the Spartans.
And they always have some size on there too, Jim. They got them football players that are just get there.
Mold taking a shot wide left of the cage. Clock will stop with 3:02 left. Poland will maintain possession. Canfield with the 11-2 lead. Ike trying to work to the inside. Going to get a whistle. And a turnover. I believe that was good. They called that a hold. Somewhere some interference in there, but they'll clear this one out. Connor Mold right there, but it's going to go over his head. Canfield going to end up with it right down into the slot. Ball comes loose. And a big check down to the far side. Ball loose again. And we're finally going to get a whistle. I don't know who they're going to call on that. There was a lot of contact there, Coach.
There was that looked like we're going for it's 4th and 1. Holy mackerel!
So a push, they're going to call it a push against Nick Weber.
Okay.
With 2:37 left in the game.
More like a bulldoze.
I don't know how they broke it down to that one. That was a lot of good contact.
You ain't kidding. I didn't think there was anything that should have been done.
That football mentality, Coach.
I guess.
So Craven going to head to the sideline. Cook will head out. 2.5 minutes left here in game 2. As the Bulldogs now on the man advantage. Connor Mold. Felt the one coming behind her. Cook. Dropping it down to the low to the right.
Oh.
And going to throw this one out of bounds, but they're going to say Poland's going to keep the ball. They'll call it a shot on net.
Okay. Yeah, it was close.
Well, looked like it went right across the nose of J.J. Morris. So. Mold down to Cook. Cook looking to the inside, nothing there. Sending it out wide to Ike. Penalty cleared for Canfield. Down into the slot was looking for Max O'Brien's going to head out of bounds. Let's say it's going to be tipped, so Poland's going to keep the ball. 1:58 left in the game. Looking to maybe put up a goal or two here just to have some success before the end of the game here. Clock continuing to run, 1:54. Out to Cook. Cook with a feinted spin move, couldn't get it out there. He'll get it out to the junior, Connor Mold.
Defensively, they do a great job. They run that, it almost looks like a 3-3.
So Brian had an opportunity in the slot there, took a shot though, ball came loose. And now Canfield on the run, Cameron Nagy with the ball. Ball comes loose and Poland will have it with 1:20 left in the fourth quarter. Old going to bounce past this one down to Jason Ike. Ike from the outside. Nothing there, so get it back up to Mold. Mold's been quiet since the second quarter.
Come out of isn't that bad.
Yep, ball loose now. Canfield on the rush. One left to right. And Connor. Anyway, Alex Cook shaking the ball loose. Now we're going to have a flag. And well, again, a lot of contact here. We'll see who this is going to be on. See if we can pick up the call from our official. All right, so Canfield going to be called for the slash. They'll get Cameron Conrad. We'll spend the next 30 seconds on the sideline. 42 seconds left in the game.
They called a 1-minute penalty, Jim.
Okay, so they gave 1 minute. Okay,
so they'll end up the game with one short.
Yep,
That's what he said.
His night is over.
He should be done.
So Cook dropping it down low, back up top. Send it to the far side. Shot on net.
Shoot.
Stop by Boris. No problem. With under 20 seconds to play. Here in this one, Canfield with an 11-2 lead. They'll clear it all the way downfield. The closest one to it will be Nick Blanche. Blanche will be able to shift this over to a teammate here. And Ralph Mold going to clear it down there, but got knocked out. She's got hit from behind. And that will bring us to the end of this one. Game 2 for the Poland Bulldogs. They take the 11-2 loss to the Canfield Cardinals. We'll step aside for a timeout. We come back, give you a scoring recap, and we will wrap it up here from Pavlansky Field in Poland. You are listening to Poland Bulldogs Men's Lacrosse here on Western Reserve Radio, part of the iMedia One Network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The stations that are always ahead of the game.
Western Reserve Radio.
Western Reserve Radio 2 and City View Sportscast. Youngstown, Ohio.
Back here one last time as we wrap it up from Pavlansky Field in Poland. Cardinals get the 11-2 win over the Poland Bulldogs. Scoring went like this. It would be Connor Mold getting the Bulldogs on the board first with 9:10 left in the first quarter. That will give the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead, but then it would be mostly Canfield, all Canfield, coach, we'll put it that way.
Yeah.
As Max Billick would find the back of the net with 4:27 left in that first frame. And it would be Parker Allquest getting his first of the day with just 2 seconds left in the first quarter, giving Canfield a 2-1 lead. Second quarter, it would be Parker Allquest at 11:28, 8:59, and 18 seconds left in the second quarter. He would hit 4 goals before halftime there, but Poland would also add one. It would be Wesley Cowles finding the back of the net with 6:17 left in the second quarter. Third quarter action, Charlie Boris right down the middle, down Broad Street. He would find the back of the net with 11:46 left in the third quarter. Max Billick would add 2 goals with 1:13 and 19 seconds left in that third quarter. Canfield will round out the scoring with Reed, Kimball, and Allquest getting his 5th of the day. Those coming at 9:56, 9:20, and 7:40, respectively. Again, Canfield gets the 11-2 win. They move on to 3-1 of the season. Poland drops to 0-2. They're looking for their first win of the season. It will get no easier as they will face Boardman on April 8th here at Dave Pavlansky Field. But again, we talked about the program over at Boardman. A lot of these players here, at least a handful of the Poland players started playing 4th, 5th, 6th grade over there with the Boardman Club youth lacrosse team and really kind of sank their teeth into lacrosse here, ending up at Poland here with Coach Kincaid Marakovich. But, Coach, a lot to work on defensively here, especially in that slot area. Face-offs becoming an issue, something they're going to have to work on. They're going to have to get better next week before Coach Lenhart and Boardman Spartans come in.
Yeah, face-off is a big thing that they need to work on. You've got to protect that front of that net, and I'm sure they have film on it, and I'm sure Coach is going to show them and it was mistakes that they made, that if they correct these things, they'll be good. But again, they have got to find somebody with some quick hands that can get it done with these face-offs, because that is so big. It's like giving everybody like football, every possession, well, you got it offensively, and we got to stop you defensively. So there's going to be things that got to work on. Again, let me stress, that was only their second game. That would have been Canfield's, I believe, 4th game. That makes a difference. You got 2 games under your belt further, so I got to believe that's going to help too.
Yeah, certainly it'll take that time to build that continuity with the team.
Sure.
But nonetheless, the schedule will move on here. Again, though, April 8th, we'll be back in action against the Boardman Spartans, followed by April 10th at home again against Canton Central Catholic, and then on April 15th against Louisville. That will be out in Stark County as they will take on the Leopards. And I believe the Kent Roosevelt game has been moved to a week from Friday for whatever reason, but that game will be played at Kent Roosevelt. More to come on that as you check our social media here on the iMedia One Network and Western Reserve Digital Radio. Again, want to remind you, coming up this weekend, a 3-game stint for the Youngstown Phantoms. They'll take on the Chicago Steel Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as they prepare for the USHL playoffs. Plenty of great seats still available. Call 330-747-PUCK, 747-7825 as we head into the Clark Cup playoffs. And, Coach, we know a little something about that.
Yeah, we do.
As the Phantoms or the 2023 Clark Cup champions, and I am sure that Coach Ward and crew would love to have that one again. Great atmosphere down there and very family-friendly and affordable.
I like that.
That's a lot to say there.
3 Fs.
And the good news here tonight is we got through the game without the rain, but as soon as that whistle blew, rain coming down here in Poland.
Just I don't think it's coming down real hard. It just looks like a miss, but, I mean, she is dropping. So after yesterday, we're lucky we weren't drowned today. So, I mean, whew. So, but, yeah, you know what, I feel good getting back into the booth and everything, and it's always my pleasure to come and do radio, obviously, on Western Reserve Radio and for Jim Craven, and I really enjoy this. It's, you walk away from football already. I've been out how many years, and it just keeps me going, keeps me out of the house.
And you know what? Being up here keeps you warm and dry, too.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it gets a little chilly, but that's okay.
Okay, we'll be back on the air here. Make sure you check back with our social media as we get ready for Game 3 of the season. They'll take on the Boardman Spartans here at Poland High School. I want to thank Brian Banfield and Poland administration for having us. And, of course, we look forward to the rest of the season here. Things going to kind of develop, I'm sure, as we go along. So with that, we will see you on Friday night at the Cavelli Center as the Youngstown Phantoms host the Chicago Steel. For the coach, Bob Gessler, for Justine Carney, thanking her for helping us out tonight on the camera. I am Jim Craven, and we will see you again back here on Friday night. Youngstown Phantoms action here, and your score one last time here from Pavlansky Field in Poland. Canfield gets the 11-2 win over the Poland Bulldogs, and we hope that everybody has a great night.
Good night, all.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of Western Reserve Radio. And we now return to our regularly scheduled programming.